Welcome back, guys. Damn, it's been a long time. You guys have been asking, and I've been holding off, for one good reason, and one good reason only, and that reason is I wanted to show you a finished product. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen a bunch of the posts as well as on Facebook. If you aren't following us on Instagram or Facebook, I'll leave them down in the description. Go give us a follow. Most of you that have seen it kind of know what's been going on, and you guys are still bugging me trying to get a YouTube video. I did a poll a little while back, and overwhelmingly you guys chose that you wanted the YouTube videos back. So have a little bit of time tonight. I figured car's about ready to go home, and I figured I would go ahead and kind of show you everything that's going on, what's left, and hopefully you guys like it. So what do you say we just go ahead and bust right into some B-roll? All right, here we go. Well guys, hopefully you enjoyed most of that B-roll. It's been a while since I've shot some, but I'll do my best in the editing. So let's go over what exactly all has been done. And looking at the front of the car, you can pretty much see that there's a massive difference, right? Like, what are all these freaking tubes here, huh? What we decided to do is we decided to front half the car, which means we cut off the lower frame rails right at the front subframe and built a new tube structure. It's all out of 4130 chromoly, and basically fit up everything the way we wanted it to be fit up. Main thing that I wanted as to why we did this was I didn't necessarily like how the turbo was clocked initially. I did that to clear a bunch of the metal of the wheel well that was here at first, and there was like an ABS pump and some other stuff there that we ended up deleting, and because I was there, that's why I ended up shooting it that way. But we cut all that out, took everything out, and went ahead and moved our Maven mount, and now we have a turbo that is directly behind the headlight head on, which also gave us more of a run on our downpipe. One of the problems we had with the old downpipe was because it was so short, the O2 bung here, which I have a really nice NTK sensor for my Ballinger AFR 500 that we couldn't use because the signal was just getting contaminated. As soon as the exhaust flow started coming out, it actually sucked air in, and it was a swirl pot of just mess, and we ended up having to run our O2 sensor down in the up pipe. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted a post-flow AFR sensor, and hopefully this fix gets us there. Nice pie cuts, all stainless. Had to readapt the 3-inch aluminum piping with our Alpha Lock LPS clamps. These things are really trick. You know, they just slide on and off. And the other big change is, as you can see over here, our front mounted fuel cell. So believe it or not, guys, this is actually from a Civic, or it's meant for a Honda Civic, EG, EK, all that, made by Jack Spania Racing or Speed Factory. They both make the same. It's a 2.2 gallon fuel cell, all aluminum, and we ended up modifying it in a couple different ways. As you can see, it's got these tabs on it, which those are basically just for bracing. The tube that goes around it, that's an NHRA requirement for fuel cells that are outside of the frame rails. You have to have some sort of cage, mainly a bar. We went ahead and added these uprights and the strap on the top to be able to just hold this thing in place, so she ain't going nowhere. The best part about this is we have a -12 outlet and a -10 inlet with a rollover valve in the cap, which is super trick. But the whole reason we did that is because we're going to freaking mechanical fuel pump, baby. This is an Aeromotive black, which if you know, you know. There's a red version too. But this is a 12 gallon a minute pump. This will flow upwards of probably 1,800 horsepower on methanol. Ethanol, it's probably in the 3,000 range. The 6 gallon a minute will flow 1,200 horsepower on ethanol. This is going to be crank pulley driven. I just need to put on the crank pulley there and the belt, adjust this. I haven't plumbed any of that or done any of that yet, so that's just kind of installed there so that we could figure out what we needed to adjust. Like the blow off valve used to be here, ended up chopping that off, moving it over there. That's not really a big deal. But because of this size of fuel system, I am going to be replacing the fuel pressure regulator to a bigger one that can handle this fuel flow. Other than that, we have a coolant expansion tank that we're going to mount. Now we do run water in this, so probably not all that big of a deal, but we want to look at running a half rad as well as a full rad, as well as potentially no rad, because we're running on methanol. So those are all things that we haven't ever tested, but are things that we would like to be able to do. I mean, plenty of other cars do it too, but it is a Subaru, so we're kind of just gonna have to test the waters and see how that all plays out. Now, over here in this location, I am gonna be mounting a clear view oil filtration filter, and that's the last thing to go into the engine bay. It's actually probably the last thing of all the fab work that we've decided to do on the car. But aside from this, probably not all that interested in seeing, but we did do hood pins as well because we had tube front-ended this. You know, we had to get rid of the hood latch. So to compensate, we ended up drilling some holes and put in some hood pins. The other thing we did, and if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you've seen that we did Lexan windows. This is tinted Lexan, 1/8 inch, custom made, had them water jet cut out with a profile that we ended up having to make ourselves. And then on the inside, there's an actual steel frame that another guy, one of our buddies, had cut out on his plas table. And we went ahead and used a bunch of nut zerts and then riveted those in. It's literally fixed into the door frame itself, so it's not going nowhere. Obviously, you're gonna have flex from the Lexan, but the frame itself, I mean, it's in there. But probably the one thing that everyone is here to see is what is up with the roll cage that we did. This happens to be a NHRA legal 750 certed cage. It's a 25.5E according to the rule book, which basically means that it has to have a funny car hoop, which is this, basically driver containment, and then a structure that is also mainly for the driver. The differences between an 850 cage and a 750 cage are, one, the funny car hoop, but also you have to do a floor structure. And there's a handful of other added bars like 850, you only have to have this bar. 750, you have to have an X. We did go ahead and stagger it just because the way this chassis lays out, it's really long and drawn out in the front. So in order for me to be able to get in and out of the car, which you have to be able to do, right? We had to make a few adjustments. This structure is all built inside the car. We did not build it under. The only thing that is under is the 6C bar, which actually goes down and got turned into a transmission mount. Most guys I've seen do this will go up and over the tunnel, but according to the NHRA rulebook, if you have a bend like that, it can only go up 3 inches from the plane of the rest of the bar, and that's way higher than 3 inches. So I don't know if that's actually legal the way that everyone else is doing it. So instead we decided to turn it into a transmission mount. Over here we decided this is where we're going to be mounting all of our electronics. This is basically a wire frame that we'll be able to mount all of our electronics, and it'll be able to move, so vibration and stuff like that we'll be totally chilling on. Nothing new with the back firewall. We've already had that before. That was done years ago. But the only thing that's gonna be left in the trunk at this point is the battery. Everything else we've moved up front or in the car or just gotten rid of it altogether. I'm gonna go over to the other side and we'll talk about what all is going on over there. Actually, we'll talk about this. This is a nameless hydraulic e-brake that we've turned into a staging brake. I went ahead and built all the hard lines for it, put in residual valves, you know, the whole 9. It actually is running brake pressure sensor now and clutch pressure sensors. If you guys know, last summer we had a dog box built by Zach at ZF Design. That is a very special gear set. I think it's one of 2, maybe one of 3. Very trick setup. Cannot wait to use this. This thing is probably what's going to propel us into the 7s. I went ahead and I put in a STI race. So it's like a JDM race shift linkage, and then on top there, that's a GP1 strain gauge. Honda boys know what I'm talking about here, but this will be able to allow us to trigger an ignition or a fuel cut based on tension. So if you pull on it, it can sense that, and it'll allow us to cut the gear based off of my hand and not my foot. Can't wait to configure all that and see how well that works. I mean, it's gonna be night and day when it comes to a dog box. Up here, I went ahead and I mounted, so this is a clutch master reservoir, and then I have a reservoir here for a front brake and a rear brake because we ripped out the factory pedal box and put in a Willwood pedal box with Willwood masters. All this is custom made. Tons of adjustability when it comes to this. The only thing that we kept, obviously, was the electronic gas pedal. Because we run drive-by-wire, we're just going to go ahead and keep that. We extended it out with a little bracket piece over here, as you can see, and basically fit it all to me. The other thing you can see here is that we did an adjustable steering column. So this is a Motion Raceworks lightweight chromoly steering column with the MPI wheel. As you can see, Motion Raceworks, MPI. The only thing that's not in the car currently, like not at all, zero, none at all, is any electronics or wires. I ripped out all of the old stuff, all the factory wiring, every single piece, ripped it out. Probably saved us in the ballpark of 60 to 100 pounds. So by doing that, we're gonna end up going to a whole different setup when it comes to power. And we're gonna be running a ECU Master PMU 16 and then an ECU Masters ADU 7 dash, all of which will play really well together. The PMU will give us plenty of power inputs, outputs, and allow us to run everything we need to run. The only thing we're gonna have to do is we're just gonna have to rewire the whole car. So Sam at Dialed In Motorsports is gonna be taking that on, as well as tuning the car, like always. But aside from that, because we had floor structure over here, Tony, the fabricator, went ahead and did a bunch of sheet metal beautifulness over here and built us a super trick floor panel. He went ahead and bead rolled out the whole BSB logo. I mean, it's sick. And this is not moving. It's firm as firm can be. There is a little bit of an inner understructure there, but nothing super crazy. Getting back to that, this 750 cage also requires a window net. I think it's above a certain mile per hour, you have to have a window net. Of course, we had to reach out to our boys at Stroud and get us a window net, which turned out really sick. Something you can see up here, this is a quick release latch. So it mounts over here. There's a little 1/2-inch chromoly bar that runs inside the window net. You pull on it and it just drops. Super sick little setup here. But outside of that, we went ahead and put in a Sparco Evo XL seat with Sparco belts. Went ahead and adjusted those the other day. And can I just say that sitting in this fully strapped in 5-point wise with the nut strap, this car, you guys, feels like an actual race car. Like, it does not feel like anything I'm used to, and man, am I excited to drive it. This cage has been NHRA certified already. We do have a sticker. It's back on that bar, which is good for 3 years. We had somebody come out and tech it and certify it, and we made a few changes. To be totally honest, first one ever built for us. Turned out super sick, like actually super sick. But with that said, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Drop me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I mean, we worked really hard on this over the last couple months, and we're trying to cross the finish line to go racing and test this thing. Like, actually, like, there's no more building at this point. Like, I've built it more than I probably can handle. So that was the whole point, right? I want to be done building. I just want to go race. Like, let's go racing, right? You know, I just want to do maintenance. I just want to do small little things. I don't want to, you know, be worried about a big old chassis change or something else. You know, I wanted a car that is capable of the world record. Like, that's the whole point of this. The whole point of this was to put Subarus back on the map and really try and showcase that, like, hey, there's still some people out here that are trying to do it, or that want to do it, or that are driven enough to do it. And that record hasn't been touched in 8 years, you guys. 2018. So I'm super excited to see all the Subarus that are gonna come out this year. We are definitely gonna try and be one of those as well. If you guys would do me a huge favor and make sure you like this video, drop a comment down below, share it, help us get some traction, get back in the algorithm. And you guys wanted the YouTube videos, so here they are. Now it's up to you to help me stay on this train and keep promoting us, keep supporting us. We have merch, we have all kinds of stuff coming. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.